Hello and welcome back to Shakesyear. We are working on the Tempest and we get to hear from Ariel today in Act 3, Scene 3. So Act 3, Scene 3, it's time that we check in with Alonso and Sebastian and Antonio and Federico and Gonzalo and all of those people. Again, did I say Alonso? Anyway, that whole crew, the king and the people who wanted to kill the king and the people who are traveling with the king. So all of the people that get washed up on shore except for Ferdinand, who Prospero is hooking up with Miranda right now. And Ferdinand and Miranda have sort of exchanged vows that they're going to get married. And then we also have Caliban has hooked up with Stefano and Trinculo, and they're going to go try to kill Prospero, and all of this sort of stuff is going on. But now we need to check back in with the royals, and they had gone off in search of Ferdinand, Alonso's son, who Alonso was pretty sure drowned and was no longer alive, but they decided that they would search the island for a little while anyway. And at the top of this Act 3, Scene 3, they've been walking for a while and they're really tired. And so they get to where they are on the island, which is a slightly different place than where they were on the island. And they're like, oh, we're so tired. We're so tired. Alonso's like, yeah, I got to sit down. And I'm pretty sure that my son is dead now. And meanwhile, Antonio and Sebastian are like, okay, first chance you get, remember, we're going to kill them. And they're like, yep, I'm totally down for that. And we should probably do it today because otherwise they'll be able to fight us back. But right now they're really tired and weak. So we should make sure that we kill them like as soon as they pass out. Kind of a thing. But then Ariel comes in, and remember, Ariel is still sort of invisible to everybody. And also Prospero decides that he wants to watch this whole thing too. He's not invisible, he's just off where he's not noticed, kind of a thing. So Ariel comes in and some music plays, and they're like, what's this music? And then these sprites appear with a banquet. They lay out this whole banquet in front of all of these people, and they're all like, well, I'm hungry. Could you eat? I could eat. Yeah, maybe we shouldn't eat, but yeah, no, I'm kind of hungry. Let's like eat. So they go like they're gonna eat, but then Ariel makes themselves visible and comes out disguised as a harpy or in the guise of a harpy, whatever, and says, you are three men of sin, whom destiny, that hath to instrument this lower world and what is in it, the never surfeited sea hath caused to belch up you. And on this island, where man doth not inhabit, you, mongst men, being most unfit to live, I have made you mad. And even with such like valor, men hang and drown their proper selves. You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate. The elements of whom your swords are tempered may as well wound the loud winds, or with bemocked-at stabs kill the still closing waters, as diminish one dowel that's in my plume. My fellow ministers are like invulnerable. If you could hurt, your swords are now too massy for your strengths and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you three from Milan did supplant good Prospero, exposed unto the sea which hath requited him and his innocent child. For which foul deed the powers, delaying, not forgetting, have incensed the seas and shores, yea, all the creatures against your peace. Thee, of thy son, Alonso, they have bereft, and do pronounce, by me, lingering perdition, worse than any death can be at once, shall step by step attend you and your ways, whose wraths to guard you from, which here in this most desolate isle else falls upon your heads, is nothing but heart sorrow and a clear life ensuing. So Ariel shows up to be scary, basically, is what it is. And of course, all of this is done at Prospero's direction. Prospero, coordinated all this stuff and wanted to scare them. So Ariel shows up and is like, oh, all of you who are so unworthy of even dying that the sea had to barf you back up onto the seas. You know, me and my ministers, my minions on this island who cannot be hurt are here to like haunt you, and your swords are now too heavy for you to lift them even if you wanted to get at us and all that sort of thing. But the actual reason that I'm here is to remind you of what you did to Prospero and how wrong that was and how much you're gonna get paid back for it right about now. So yeah, that's basically what he's saying. It's just a great big threat to make all of them afraid of the island and to refresh in their memories just in case they had forgotten what they had done to Prospero, because a little bit of foreshadowing here, they're going to run into Prospero on the island a little bit later. So Prospero wants to make sure that they remember who he was when that whole thing happens, because otherwise it's going to be a really awkward introduction. But he's like, you know, all of you are now basically cursed. And then Ariel disappears again and the minions come back out and they take the banquet away. And everybody's like really shaken by this. And Prospero's like, Ariel, really well done. That was, yeah, good stuff. Good stuff that. But the rest of them, Alonso and Gonzalo and Sebastian and Antonio, they're all like, this is scary. So let's keep looking for my son. Let's get out of here. Let's run away. That sort of a thing. And that's Act 3, Scene 3, with the magical appearing and disappearing dinner and Ariel as a harpy, threatening a bunch of royal Neapolitans? Yes, Neapolitans. Anyway, so fun stuff, and tomorrow we're into Act 4 already, which is kind of craziness. But yeah, we got to start bringing some of these pieces together and start tying some things up so we can get towards the end of the play. And I'll see you tomorrow as we start to do that. Mwah.